there, teachers. Welcome back to the Teacher's Toolbox, your ultimate guide for tips and strategies to make your classroom a success. Today, we're talking about something we've all faced. Why aren't my students paying attention? It's frustrating, right? But don't worry. Understanding the why can help you fix the problem. I'm sharing the top 5 reasons why students aren't paying attention in class. And stick around until the end for a bonus reason that might surprise you. And while you're here, don't forget to click like and subscribe so you never miss a video filled with classroom solutions. So, let's dive right in. Reason number 1, lack of relevance. Students are more likely to tune out if they don't see how the material connects to their lives. They're thinking, why does this matter? So, whenever possible, tie your lessons to real-world examples or things they care about. Showing them the why behind what you're teaching can make a huge difference. Reason number 2, overstimulation or fatigue. Between social media, gaming, and homework, students' brains are often on overload. If they seem distracted, it could be that they're just mentally exhausted. To help with this, consider breaking up your lessons. For example, try short brain breaks to allow students to gather their thoughts or quick movement activities to re-energize them. Reason number 3, they don't feel connected. When students don't feel emotionally connected to their teacher or their classmates, they're less likely to engage. Building rapport through small conversations, icebreakers, or acknowledging their efforts can help them feel seen and valued in your classroom. Reason number 4, lessons are too predictable. Routines are great, but if every day feels the same thing over and over, students might check out. Add a little spice to your lessons. Use games, group work, or multimedia to mix things up. Keeping them guessing helps keep them engaged. And remember to check out our video on online tools for student engagement. Reason number 5, personal issues or stress. Sometimes it's not about your teaching at all. A student might be dealing with challenges at home, with friends, or even their mental health. While you can't solve everything, offering empathy, a safe space, and maybe a quick check-in can make a world of difference. This is just another reason why teachers are amazing, because we care. And now for the bonus reason that might not be on your radar, but it's a big one. And that bonus reason is boredom with passive learning. Many students lose focus if they're just sitting and listening. Passive learning doesn't hold their attention like active learning does. Try hands-on activities, debates, or problem-solving tasks that make them participants in the learning process, rather than just observers. And there you have it. 5 reasons your students might not be paying attention in class, plus 1 bonus tip to keep in mind. Remember, every student is different, and sometimes just tweaking your approach can make a huge difference. If this video helped you, click like and hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on more tips from the Teacher's Toolbox. Let me know in the comments which strategies you're excited to try, or share your own ideas. We'd love to hear them. Remember, you are all amazing teachers. And as always, happy teaching. Hello, teachers. Welcome back to the Teacher's Toolbox, your go-to channel for creative ideas and resources to make your teaching life easier and more impactful. Today, we're diving into the top 5 online tools for student engagement. These are fun, interactive platforms that will get your students excited about learning and help you create dynamic lessons. And don't forget to stick around until the end, because I've got a bonus tool you won't want to miss. Before we get started, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to stay updated on more tools and tips to enhance your teaching. Now, let's jump in. Number 1 is Kahoot. Kahoot is a crowd favorite for a reason. It's perfect for quizzes, polls, and interactive reviews. Students absolutely love the competitive format, and it works for both in-person and virtual classrooms. Plus, you can create your own games or use pre-made ones, so it's super versatile. Our online tool number 2 is Quizlet. If your students need to review vocabulary, concepts, or terms, Quizlet is your best friend. It's great for flashcards, matching games, and even collaborative study sessions. The live feature is especially fun. It turns learning into a team competition. Online tool number 3 is Nearpod. Nearpod takes interactive presentations to the next level. You can embed videos, quizzes, polls, and even virtual reality experiences right into your lessons. It keeps students actively engaged while helping you track their understanding in real time. Perfect for adding that wow factor. Number 4 is Flip, which was formerly Flipgrid. Flip is an awesome platform for student voice and creativity. Students can respond to prompts with short video clips, which makes it perfect for class discussions, reflections, or even project presentations. Plus, it's a great way to boost confidence in a supportive environment. Our number 5 online tool is Padlet. Padlet is like a digital bulletin board where students can collaborate in real time. Whether it's brainstorming, sharing resources, or displaying work, Padlet is simple to use and keeps everything visually organized. It's a fantastic way to encourage collaboration and creativity. And our extra bonus tool is Blooket. If your students love Kahoot, they'll go crazy for Blooket. It combines learning with fun game modes like tower defense and treasure hunts. You can create your own question sets or choose from existing ones. It's a great way to reinforce concepts while keeping students engaged and motivated. So, there you have it. The top 5 online tools for student engagement, plus a bonus tool to spice things up even more. Let me know in the comments which of these tools you've used, or if you have any others to recommend. Don't forget to click like and subscribe for more teaching tips, tools, and inspiration. Thanks for watching the Teacher's Toolbox, and I'll see you in the next video, where we'll explore even more ways to make your classroom shine. And as always, happy teaching! Hey there, future educators. Welcome back to Teacher's Toolbox. I'm Ms. Mentor, and today we're diving into one of the most exciting aspects of a new school year, arranging your classroom. A well-thought-out classroom layout can make all the difference in creating an engaging and effective learning environment. So, let's get started with some ideas and tips to set you up for success. First things first, think about your teaching style and your students' needs. Consider these 3 key elements: functionality, flexibility, and flow. Is all about ensuring your space meets the needs of your lessons. Here are a few ways to enhance functionality. Designate learning zones. Create specific areas for different activities, like a reading corner, a collaborative group space, and a tech station. This helps students know where to go for what they need. Arrange desks strategically. Try different configurations. A U-shape encourages discussion, while rows are great for individual work. Think about what best supports your teaching approach and your students' engagement. Rooms should be adaptable to various teaching styles and activities. Here's how to achieve that. Use mobile furniture. Consider desks and chairs that are easy to move around. This way, you can easily reconfigure the space for group work or independent study as needed. Incorporate multi-purpose spaces. Create areas that can serve multiple functions, such as a cozy reading nook that can transform into a quiet space for individual projects. Finally, let's talk about flow. A well-arranged classroom allows for smooth movement throughout the space. Clear pathways. Make sure there are clear pathways between desks and learning areas. This helps students navigate the room easily, minimizing distractions and disruptions. Consider sightlines. Arrange seating so that all students can see the whiteboard and each other. This fosters a sense of community and makes it easier for everyone to participate in discussions. There you have it, my top tips for arranging your classroom for the upcoming school year. Remember, the best classroom layout is one that reflects your teaching style and meets the needs of your students. Don't be afraid to experiment and adjust as the year goes on. If you found these tips helpful, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell for more great content. I'd love to hear how you plan to arrange your classroom this year. Share your ideas in the comments below. Until next time, happy teaching! Welcome back, teachers, to another episode of Teacher's Toolbox. I'm Ms. Mentor, here to share practical tips and strategies to make your teaching journey a little smoother. Today, we're tackling an all-too-common challenge: students who are consistently tardy. It can really disrupt the flow of your class, right? Tip number 1, establish clear expectations. From day one, communicate what on time means in your classroom. Set a clear standard for when students should be in their seats and ready to learn. Sometimes, simply defining what on time looks like can make a difference. Spell it out in your syllabus and remind students as needed. But remember, expectations only work if they're backed by consistent action. Tip number 2, use a routine to motivate. Start each class with a brief, engaging warm-up or bell ringer activity that students look forward to. Bell ringers are a great way to get everyone in the door on time. Try something that students will want to be there for: a quick quiz, a riddle, or even a daily fact that's tied to your subject. It sets the tone and helps curb tardiness naturally. Tip 3, address chronic tardiness directly. If you notice a pattern with certain students, don't let it slide. Sometimes all it takes is a quick one-on-one conversation. A supportive approach shows you care and can open the door to understanding the reason behind their tardiness. There could be issues outside of school they're dealing with, so show empathy, but also communicate the impact on the class. Tip 4, provide incentives for being on time. Reinforcing good habits with rewards is a great way to encourage punctuality. It doesn't have to be anything big, but small incentives can make a difference. Consider giving points, or have a prize box where students who are consistently on time can choose a reward. It's amazing how a little motivation can turn tardy students into early birds. And finally, tip number 5, be sure to involve parents and guardians. For students who are chronically late, it's essential to involve their support network. To wrap it up, reducing tardiness takes a mix of structure, positive reinforcement, and communication. By setting clear expectations, motivating students, addressing issues head-on, rewarding timeliness, and involving parents, you can make real progress toward a punctual and productive classroom environment. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to click the like button and subscribe. You are amazing and greatly appreciated by all of us here at the Teacher's Toolbox. Until next time, happy teaching. Hello, teachers, and welcome back to the Teacher's Toolbox. I'm Ms. Mentor, and today we're diving into 5 simple tips on how to boost student engagement in the classroom. Whether you're new to teaching or a seasoned pro, these strategies will help make your lessons more dynamic, fun, and, most importantly, engaging for your students. Let's jump right in. Tip number 1, start with a hook. The beginning of your lesson is crucial in capturing students' attention. Try to grab their curiosity right away with something interesting. It could be a thought-provoking question, a quick demo, or a surprising fact. For example, if you're teaching science, you might say, "Did you know that the average person will walk the equivalent of 5 times around the Earth in their lifetime?" It sparks curiosity and makes them want to learn more. When you hook them at the start, they'll be more engaged for the rest of the lesson. Tip number 2, make learning interactive. Instead of just talking at your students, get them moving, talking, and working together. Use group discussions, hands-on activities, or tech tools like Kahoot or Quizlet to get them involved. Let's say you're teaching history. Have students work in small groups to create a timeline or role-play an event. The more actively students participate, the more engaged they'll be. Interactive activities give students ownership of their learning and make it more fun. Tip number 3, create a positive and inclusive classroom environment. Students need to feel safe and valued in order to engage. Set clear expectations for respect and make sure every student feels comfortable sharing their ideas. Get to know your students as individuals, show interest in their passions, and incorporate those interests into lessons. When students feel heard and respected, they're much more likely to engage in meaningful ways. Tip number 4, set clear goals and provide feedback. Students need to know why they're learning something and what they're working toward. Make sure your objectives are clear and remind students of them throughout the lesson. And don't forget the power of feedback. Regular, constructive feedback helps students see how they're progressing. Positive reinforcement encourages them to stay engaged and keep improving. Tip number 5, make lessons relevant to students' real-world interests. When students see how what they're learning connects to their lives outside the classroom, they're much more motivated to engage. For example, if you're teaching math, use real-world examples like budgeting for a trip or analyzing sports statistics. If you know what excites your students, you can tap into those interests and make the material more engaging and meaningful to them. So there you have it, 5 simple tips to boost student engagement in your classroom. Start with a hook to grab their attention. Make learning interactive to keep them involved. Foster a positive, inclusive environment where every student feels valued. Set clear goals and provide regular feedback. Connect lessons to real-world interests to make learning more relevant. I hope these tips help inspire some new ideas for your classroom. If you've tried any of these strategies, let me know how they worked for you in the comments. And if you have any engagement tips of your own, I'd love to hear them. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more teaching tips and strategies here at the Teacher's Toolbox. You've got this, and your students are lucky to have you. Hello, amazing educators, and welcome back to the Teacher's Toolbox. I'm Ms. Mentor, and I'm so excited to be here with you today. If you're new to the channel, I'd love for you to hit that subscribe button and join our wonderful community of teachers who are all about growth, inspiration, and making a real difference in the classroom. Today, we're tackling something that's absolutely at the heart of great teaching: lesson planning. We all know that effective lessons are the key to keeping students engaged and helping them retain information. But crafting successful lesson plans can sometimes feel like a daunting task. Don't worry though. I'm here to show you how to create amazing lesson plans that not only capture your students' attention, but also maximize their learning. Ready to dive in? Let's go. All right, let's get into the good stuff. A well-designed lesson plan doesn't just tell you what to teach. It's a roadmap that guides you, your students, and your classroom experience. So whether you're a seasoned teacher or just starting out, these strategies will help you create lessons that are clear, engaging, and effective. Here are 5 key tips to help you make lesson planning a breeze. Tip number 1, start with clear learning objectives. Before you plan any activity or lecture, think about what you want your students to learn. This is the foundation of your lesson. What should they be able to do by the end of the lesson? Are they mastering a concept? Developing a skill? Understanding a key idea? Make sure your learning objectives are specific, measurable, and achievable. A good rule of thumb is to use action verbs like explain, analyze, demonstrate, or create, so that you know exactly what your students will be working toward. For example, instead of saying, students will understand the concept of photosynthesis, say, students will be able to explain the process of photosynthesis and identify its key components. Clear objectives give your students a sense of direction, and when your objectives are focused, you can create activities that are purposeful and engaging. You're building a solid foundation for the entire lesson. Next up, active learning. Gone are the days of lectures where students sit passively and just take notes. In today's classrooms, we want our students to be active participants in their learning. So, think about how you can get your students involved in the lesson through activities that get them moving, talking, creating, or experimenting. Incorporate group work, discussions, hands-on projects, or real-world problems that allow students to apply what they've learned. For example, if you're teaching a science lesson on ecosystems, you could have students work in small groups to create a model of an ecosystem and present it to the class. Or you could have them debate environmental policies to deepen their understanding. By involving students in activities that are interactive and meaningful, you're not just teaching content. You're creating an experience that sticks with them. Active learning boosts engagement, keeps students interested, and helps them retain information better. Now, let's talk about formative assessments. This is a big one. Formative assessments are small, ongoing checks for understanding that you can use throughout the lesson to see how your students are grasping the material. These assessments don't need to be formal or high stakes. They can be as simple as a quick poll, a thumbs up, thumbs down check, a think, pair, share activity, or a short quiz. Why are formative assessments important? Well, they help you identify areas where students might be struggling before the end of the lesson. If you notice that many students are confused about a concept, you can quickly adjust your teaching or provide additional support. It's all about staying responsive to your students' needs in real time. By including opportunities for formative assessment, you ensure that you're always aware of how your students are progressing. It helps you adjust on the fly and keep everyone on track. Tip number 4, differentiate your lesson. Not every student learns the same way, and a successful lesson plan takes that into account. Make sure that your lesson is accessible to all learners, whether they're struggling with the content or excelling. You can do this by providing multiple means of engagement, representation, and expression. For example, use visuals, graphic organizers, and hands-on activities for students who need more concrete support. For students who are more advanced, you can provide extension activities or ask them to explore the material in greater depth. When you differentiate, every student has the opportunity to succeed. Differentiation ensures that you're meeting your students where they are and supporting them in a way that works best for them. Finally, let's talk about the importance of reflection. After every lesson, take a moment to reflect on what worked well and what could be improved. Did your students meet the learning objectives? Were they engaged throughout? Were there any moments where things fell flat, or did some students seem confused? Use this feedback to revise and refine your lesson plans for next time. Lesson planning isn't a one-time thing. It's an ongoing process of improvement and growth. Every time you reflect on a lesson, you're getting better at meeting the needs of your students and designing more effective lessons in the future. So, to recap, here are your 5 tips for creating successful, effective lesson plans. Start with clear learning objectives that are specific and measurable. Incorporate active learning to keep students engaged and involved. Use formative assessments throughout the lesson to check for understanding. Differentiate your lesson to meet the diverse needs of all learners. Reflect and revise after each lesson to continuously improve. With these strategies, you'll be able to create lesson plans that not only maximize learning, but also make your classroom a place where students are excited to participate. And remember, lesson planning isn't just about the activities. It's about creating meaningful learning experiences that will stick with your students for the long run. I hope these tips give you some fresh ideas and inspire you to create lesson plans that truly make a difference. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and leave a comment below. Let me know your favorite lesson planning strategies or any challenges you face. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks so much for joining me today on the Teacher's Toolbox. Keep up the incredible work in your classrooms, and I'll see you next time. Happy teaching!